Hey fellas, it's Zem, and I'm doing another one of those rare tanks uh, previews and gameplay. And tonight we have the PZ4 Hydro. This actually just came up for sale in the shop, hence why I'm doing it. Uh, I've had this one probably for over a year and a half, almost 2 years. I got it in I bought a Razer mouse, and it was a code inside of it for PZ4 Hydro. So I got the mouse and I got the tank. So, I've had it for quite a while. Haven't played it a whole bunch. Um, so tonight I actually just sat down and played probably 10 games in it just to see what it was, refresh my memory of exactly what this tank was about. So, history-wise, this ag tank actually existed. This actually sits at Aberdeen Proving Grounds in Maryland. So if you ever wanted to go actually see it, it actually is there. It was a one-off tank. 1943, the Germans decided to modify a Panzer IV with a new drive system, hence the hydrostat. If anybody's not familiar with the hydrostat, essentially what it does is it removes the benefits of it is that it saves up a lot of space. You get rid of the transmission, get rid of the drivetrain, the shafts, everything's gone. And essentially what it is the motor runs two pumps. And these pumps run to two hydraulic motors that are connected to the drive wheels. So it eliminates a bunch of stuff in the tank. Like I said, no more transmissions, none of that. So the driver, essentially, when the driver is sitting there, he's no more gearboxes, none of it. He essentially all he has is a pedal. The harder you push the pedal, the faster the tank goes. That's it. Obviously there's a reverse, but it takes all of that stuff out of the tank that could have problems. Transmissions, drive shafts, all that stuff's gone. So essentially, the motor the engine just runs the pumps, and the pumps pump oil to the two hydrostatic motors powering the tank forward reverse. Very simple system. As of 1943, after they built this, they did a bunch of testing in 44. They sent it to the Eastern Front, and it went to a Waffen SS tank division, where it was discovered to be it broke down a lot. So yeah, it did not have a successful time on the Eastern Front. I don't believe it was actually ever used in combat. Eventually was captured by the Americans, transported back to the United States, and they ran a number of tests on it themselves, and then ended up just putting it as a static display in the Aberdeen Proving Grounds. It was also, I believe, the first tank in the Russian or in the German army that had the hydraulically driven turret. They tested that as well on this tank. I could be wrong, but from what I understand, this was the first attempt to have a hydraulically driven turret. That was one of the other things about it. Some of the changes they made to it, essentially it does look just like a PZ4. They did drop the hull armor. This is only have 50 millimeters compared to the 80 millimeters on the actual PZ4. What that means is, yeah, you're down 30 millimeters. So don't expect to bounce shit. Just don't get shot. That's pretty much it. You are compensated with some of the extra hit points though. 550 compared to 480. The gun is the 75 L48, same as the PZ4, and the same one that you get on the PZ34. So yeah, it's a good gun. 110 damage, 110 penetration, almost 17 rounds a minute. Good traverse speed for the turrets. Nice gun depression, 10 degrees. Abuse the piss out of that. Own it. Cheers. Aim time's okay. Dispersion at 100 meters, okay. I wish it was a little bit more accurate, but you get tier 5, it's always that way. It's kind of can't give you something too accurate. Hit points 550, Hull armor 50 in the front, 30 on the side, 20 in the ass. You notice, of course, the difference in the rear end. This is the modified. If this was actually would have been an actual Panzer IV, this would have been a squared off right here. As you can see here, it's obviously squared, and the drive wheels are a little different. You can see the changes in the drive wheels, along with the track returns and whatnot. So now, normally, the Germans drove this tank. They had the PZ4 would have been driven by a front-mounted transmission. So the engine would have been the rear, powered the transmission, which would have drove the front drive wheels. And I believe the hydrostat had the reverse, where it actually drove the rear ones. I'll have to check on that. I'll get back to you guys on that one, but I'm pretty sure that's how that worked out. Like I said, they had to change out the drive wheels on this tank, but typical German transmission was in the front, and it drove the front drive wheel. So a little something different with hydrostat. So the armor scheme, not the best. This does get the upgraded turret with the heat shields on the side. So if you run into somebody from spamming heat at you, I don't know if it actually works, but hey, whatever. They're there, makes the tank look pretty, whatever. It does have, you can actually do bounce a few rounds off of the front turret. It is fairly decent. Especially if they hit right on the gun manlet. Still's got the big cupola on the top, so something to remember that that's easily pennable. Mobility wise, it's faster than the PZ4, slower than the PZ3-4. So you'll notice that in game as you're playing it. Decent traverse speed. Engine power is less than the PZ4, but it also weighs less, obviously because of the loss of 30 millimeters of frontal armor. Concealment, it's better than the other two, but not much. Still shit. So yeah, don't get spotted and don't get shot. Yeah, but it's tier 5. You can't expect a whole lot. The view range 365, signal range 660, 676. Not good. Review range is probably, like I said, and I have a pretty good crew with the E50M crew on here. I don't have coated optics like I usually run on my mediums. I just kind of threw this shit together. So, like I said, once you get the crew done, obviously I have most of the vision perks on my crew. So even throwing on a set of coated optics, I'm still going to get this up to about 400 meters. Not bad at tier 5, but yeah, the 3-4 and the Panzer IV both have better view range than this tank does. Do I enjoy the tank? Yes, it's a fun little tank at tier 5. As a crew trainer, works out perfect for the E50M line. This is some of the things that Wargaming does. They fuck with you on the premium tanks. You get an oddball premium tank that gets oddball crews. Can't train them straight up. This one you don't. You actually can train your E50M crew, your E50 crew, straight all the way, no problem. No weird crew setups, none of that shit. So, if you're looking for a low tier premium German medium, hey, yeah, you might want to give it a shot. But then again, they got 4. So, each one of these have a little bit different play style. They all have a 75 millimeter. So, they're not too far off from each other that way. This tank only shows up about once a year. I've seen it one other time for sale. So yeah, it's not something that gets sold very often. So if you're a tank collector, or if you just really want the tank, you probably want to pick it up. It does the job. The game I do have on it, I don't actually have it here anymore. I shot a few premium rounds, so I ended up making right around 20K, which would have probably been 25 to 30 if I wouldn't have shot, I think, 5 premium shells. So not a bad money maker, and that was just a little bit over 1,000 damage. So yeah, not a bad meta maker at tier 5. I mean, you can't complain. It's that little pew pew gun. that you don't have a problem with to rack up some damage. So I'm going to be bringing you guys the replay on Corellia, and I tried to play it a little more as a medium tank, but I ended up playing it more like a heavy, just because of the lack of speed. This is not a speed demon. If you want the speed demon, you get the 3-4, the Panzer 3-4. That's the much faster, more mobile tank of the bunch. But this thing, still faster than the Panzer 4. Doesn't get the derp gun, but it gets a nice little pew pew gun. So that's the in-game garage view of this tank, and I am currently going to load up the replay. So we'll see you guys there. All right, fellas, we're back with the Panzer 4 Hydro game. We had a good look at it in the garage, and we are going to be playing on Corellia. I'm going to be trying to play this thing as a medium, but it's kind of too slow to play as a medium. I want to take the hill. Problem is we ain't got shit for speed, T80 and 5 Stewart, Luke's, Covenator, Crusader, yeah, they're all faster than me. I'd like to give a shout out to old Darth Tanker here. He's our newest subscriber to the channel. He's actually running into a couple games before this, and he's driving the Matilda. I got my platoon mate, Taboo 77, running the grill. And I had a few games in this thing today. Just I didn't do that on purpose. I wasn't sure what he was going to do, if he was going left, right, or if he was forward. I thought I was going to pass behind him, so yes, I didn't. Not that kind of guy. Well, anyway, charging to take the hill. I got Darth on the one side over here. I got an SUA-40 Tekel, interesting name, and I got a DW2, the Remnant 2016 with me, and we're rolling up here on this corner here. I'd really like to get up on the hill. I like to control the hill in this match at Corellia. M5 Stewart's already up there, but I don't get a chance to. See the M4, put a nice shot into the M4. This gun can be trolly as fuck sometimes. Got a Hetzer back there. Yeah, watch out for hidden tanks. Pull back. Hill's on no-go, so we're going to have to play this a little bit on the slow side. M4 is up there, and essentially we're just going to be sitting here waiting for tanks to show up. Covenator comes across. He is looking for something, I guess. I know there's a fair amount of TDs back there, so I have no interest in poking around this corner farther than I have to, or pulling out any farther than I have to. And now it's kind of a waiting game here. It's I have already support. I do have a few tanks with me, so it's just kind of a waiting game here to see if we can get him to pull in here. Now he's noticed I'm showing off this amazing accuracy on this gun. I don't know if RNG just didn't like me tonight or what. I missed 3 shots on that guy's idler. Luke's not paying attention. Come around the corner, stick a shell into him. This Covenator, I'm kind of lost for words. I'm not sure what he intended to do. Spam with his T80, get a bad shot into his side. He comes roaring in after the DW. I'm not sure if that was an attempt to provide the DW as cover or what, but he's sure handling it well. So now I got a Stuke 3 in front of me, and yeah. So this is where it comes kind of dodgy, just because if you're going to push up like this, you better have some sort of support, and in this case I have support. I have artillery support, so I'm just going to kind of sit here and give them a little bit something to shoot at. DW's almost dead, but I got a Hetzer moving up to see what he can do. DW2's almost dead. The Hetzer's he's still kicking, but like I said, I got Taboo back in the grill, give me a little bit of support. So we're just going to try to keep these tanks lit. Yeah, actually I did see that Hetzer, but it actually bounced. But Taboo finishes him off. I switched to premium rounds, more along the lines of just because, yeah, all shots got to count now. Too many tanks in front of us not to pen. Stuke 3, he puts a good shot into me. I was trying to just light him without getting shot, but it didn't work out. Taboo gets him anyway. Um, so I'm sitting in a strong position here. I have artillery backing me, and a couple tanks behind me right now. More than I thought there was. Just a minute ago, there was only me and two other guys. Now I got an artillery piece and a light tank, an 820. But they've won this. They've won the north. Pushed the 1-2-3 line. They're doing pretty well here. So put a shell into the 3601H. We're gonna see if I can finish him off here. Get one more shell into him, and that leaves us the M4 and the Lukes. The M4's got the derp gun, so he's probably just hanging out to reload. Comes around the corner. DW finishes him off. And now it just comes kind of, excuse me, I'm tired apparently. Kind of a cleanup game here. We got a 67 off to the at their cap. Luke's is unspotted, so who knows where the fuck he's at. I'm sure, oh, there he is. So we got a Matilda up on the top. Luke's gonna have a fun time pinning that shit, unless he gets to his rear. We're gonna look here at the 67. I'm hoping to get one more shot of damage in before that, grill, takes my damage and my kill and all that kind of stuff. But hey, what am I gonna say? Taboo played a good game. He actually ended up with top damage on this match. So well done to him. Wait for my aim. No, just can't quite get it. Just can't quite get it. So yeah, it was a good game all the way around. We won. Yay. And I will be bringing some more reviews of these rare tanks for you guys to enjoy. So you guys have a good night.